Did you ever wonder what happens when two of the world's most powerful military forces come face to face in one of the world's most contested waters? The South China Sea, a region rich in resources, strategic passageways, and overlapping territorial claims, is a hotspot for high-stakes confrontations. And recently, things escalated when Chinese fighter jets intercepted a U.S. Navy fleet patrolling the area, raising the temperature on an already tense situation. In today's video, we're diving into the bold confrontation between China's military and the U.S. Navy right in the heart of the South China Sea. We'll break down how this encounter went down, what it says about China's rising military power, and why the world is watching this face-off so closely. This isn't just about one incident, it's a window into the broader power struggle for control and influence in the Indo-Pacific region. Imagine this. A U.S. Navy fleet is patrolling the open waters, conducting what it calls a freedom of navigation operation, a routine mission to ensure these waters remain open for all nations to pass through. These patrols have been ongoing for years, reinforcing the stance that no single nation should dominate the South China Sea, but this time, China responds swiftly. Chinese radar spots the U.S. ships, and within minutes, fighter jets are launched from a nearby base. The pilots are on high alert, swiftly moving to intercept the U.S. fleet. The tension is thick. These are heavily armed jets approaching one of the most formidable naval forces in the world. On board the U.S. ships, sailors are on edge, monitoring radar screens as the Chinese planes draw closer. For China, this is a demonstration of power. The South China Sea holds incredible strategic value, not only because of its rich natural resources like oil and gas, but also because it's one of the busiest maritime routes in the world. By confronting the U.S. Navy here, China is sending a clear message: this is our backyard and we're willing to defend it. On the other hand, the U.S. maintains that these waters are international and that no single nation has the right to restrict access. When China's fighter jets close in, it's more than just a physical presence, it's a direct challenge to the U.S. stance on freedom of navigation and an attempt to project dominance in this critical region. The Chinese jets draw closer, circling above, while messages are exchanged over radio frequencies. China's pilots issue stern warnings to the U.S. fleet, calling on them to retreat from what China claims as its territory. There's tension in the air as neither side wants to back down. The U.S. Navy, trained for high-stakes encounters, holds its position, prepared for a range of scenarios. Meanwhile, the Chinese jets maneuver around them, signaling both their readiness and their presence. What's remarkable is that this encounter, while not unprecedented, is one of the closest and most direct confrontations seen in recent years. It's an unmistakable message from China, a declaration that they'll actively confront any perceived threat to their territorial claims. The U.S. response, however, is equally resolute, underscoring its commitment to countering any excessive maritime claims that could impact international navigation rights. As the situation unfolds, both sides are faced with critical decisions. The U.S. Navy must decide how to assert its position without triggering a dangerous escalation. The Chinese pilots, too, are tasked with demonstrating China's power while avoiding an international incident. Each move, each message carries weight, and the decisions made in this brief encounter could have long-lasting effects on military strategy in the region. Eventually, after tense exchanges, the Chinese jets pull back, returning to their base. But the message is clear. China is no longer just watching U.S. operations in the South China Sea from a distance, it's actively confronting them. For the U.S., this encounter is another reminder of the challenges it faces in maintaining its influence in the Indo-Pacific. This latest standoff between Chinese fighter jets and the U.S. Navy highlights the growing risks of confrontation in the South China Sea. The world is watching closely as the balance of power shifts, and with each encounter, the stakes grow higher. What began as a dispute over territory has become a high-stakes game, one where the actions of a few could shape the future of this critical region. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.